Hello and good afternoon. This is a technology integration report and lesson materials narrated by me, Christina Riggs. So the context of my classroom is grade levels, high school 10 through 12. The subject area is sculpture. The school environment is a leadership academy in East Dallas. I have a total of 102 art students. Our current situation is a hybrid model where most students are virtual and joining class via Zoom and using Google Classroom, and a small percentage of students are learning in person. Recently, our school had a large failure and absence rate at the beginning of the year, and our district expects now for students at home to join classes synchronously from 8 to 4:30 via Zoom. So the in-school learning environment, students have access to iPads and they have been issued their own laptop. Students also have, for the most part, their own personal cell phones, which sometimes they use more often than iPads, and they have prior knowledge of iPad and laptop technology. In the art classroom, students use a combination of cell phones, iPads, and laptops to manage digital art portfolios and photo document their works of art. At home, their virtual learning environment is conducted through a district-issued Chromebook laptop that they were rented out by the district. Students are also given hotspots for internet access if they need it. So the technology need in the art classroom is Pear Deck. So incorporating technology such as Pear Deck in the art classroom is important, especially during the 2020 pandemic, because students can learn art techniques, vocabulary, and art critiques in a remote learning environment, as well as through visual and auditory means. Technologies such as Pear Deck address the need of facilitating student learning experiences and can transform student thinking. According to Bloom's digital taxonomy, tools like Pear Deck build students toward higher order thinking skills when incorporating multimedia that allows students to evaluate and create their own products. In my art class, creating is the experience and ultimate goal of all art students. This can happen in a number of ways with remote learning, including creating videos, stop motion film, posting and commenting their work, and reviewing their peers' work. So the two types of technology that I considered using, the first one is Pear Deck, and the second one is Padlet. Pear Deck is an ideal tool for remote learning. It's an add-on to a Google Slides presentation, and it allows you to transform each slide into an interactive activity. Padlet, on the other hand, is an online tool where teachers can create boards that contain links, videos, or images, and students can also post images and allows them to view peers' work and also comment and give feedback. The reason I chose Pear Deck is because it addresses the need for synchronous engagement while students actively participate in multimedia activities. Although I use Pear Deck currently, there are many features that I have yet to learn about when it comes to Pear Deck. And Padlet is usually a tool that I link directly into Pear Deck. So the plan for incorporating Pear Deck throughout the year is to integrate various forms of multimedia into the slide deck. Pear Deck facilitates class participation and discussions as if we were in class together, which is a work in progress. So my plan to continue to use Pear Deck and become more efficient in the future is to create weekly Google Slides add video and audio to every lesson, facilitate student brainstorming activities, and make sure that each slide has an add-on Pear Deck tool such as written text, drawings, and quizzes. The challenges that I anticipate are that students may not take the time to read or interact with each slide, or follow the external links when directed to do so. So the instruction for Pear Deck will take place throughout the year. I have introduced it at the beginning of the year, but like I said before, there are many features that I have yet to use, such as multiple choice questions, interactive draggable icons, and adding audio to each slide. A way that I can introduce this material is by recording and presenting a screencast of the new features I add on so that students can learn how to interact with the new technology. Students can practice using this new technology during synchronous class time. Students can receive feedback when given formative assessments and individual feedback via Remind 101 or directly given on Pear Deck if I see that students are not engaging correctly with each slide. The universal design for learning principles that are represented throughout Pear Deck are representation, action and expression, and engagement. First of all, representation happens in more than one format when using a tool like Pear Deck. For example, we can link articles, videos, and other websites that sustain students' interest. Pear Deck encompasses action and expression because it gives students multiple ways to interact with the material. For example, students can draw, write, or follow external links to different audio and video. Perhaps the most useful purpose of Pear Deck is its success in engaging and motivating students by presenting material that students can synchronously interact with, while teachers can monitor the participation of students during class. I expect success throughout the year with Pear Deck if I consistently see our students engaging 100% during synchronous class time. Overall, our goal is for students to interact with each activity on each slide and attempt to use written text, drawing, and following external sites such as Padlet to post and comment on their work. My plan for revision is to keep in mind the SAMR model, which states that technology augments and enhances a student's experience, but may need to move from augmentation to modification. What this means is that students in the future could collaborate in a cloud-based workspace. My plan to get here is to go back and include more multimedia resources to make this happen. So this is the Blendspace lesson where my students would learn how to use Pear Deck. So ideally, we would learn to understand how Pear Deck works and to ensure that each student understands their accountability for properly engaging with each slide. I've linked a website where students can actually watch several videos about how to join a Pear Deck lesson, how to answer prompts in Pear Deck, on a cell phone, an iPad, or a laptop, and how to navigate in synchronous or asynchronous mode. So for students to understand what Pear Deck is, they need to understand that it's a added-on interactive activity that engages them in a variety of activities. It can be used in the classroom or at home in a hybrid model. So we've included an activity, and then also students can, we can walk them through the process of looking at each slide on Google Slides and writing their responses to prompts, following external links to articles, and of course continuing to read and write their response for each prompt. Ultimately, students would understand that they are accountable for the final product, and of course using links like Padlet to then post their student work. So that is it for our technology integration report. Thank you very much.